Part 2 of the Stairway to Heaven guitar lesson features the song's middle section, where we'll cover all the essential guitar parts for a one-person performance. You can learn this either on an acoustic or an electric guitar. We're going to cover each section with a step-by-step approach. The middle section of Stairway to Heaven is when the strumming begins, and that starts after 3 sections of fingerstyle playing. So the middle section starts with section 4, and from this point on we'll use a pick for the remainder of the song. And section 4 begins with a G/B chord. Just focus on the middle 4 strings. And you let that ringer sustain. It's sort of a lead-in chord. And then the strumming starts with the A minor 7th chord shape here. And the strumming pattern for the A minor 7 section is this. Down, down, up, and then let go of the pinky, release the pinky for that last strum. Let's repeat that. Down, down, up, down. Then we shift to a D chord. You want to think D chord, but what you're going to do for one strum is you're going to temporarily lift the 1 and 2 fingers and then place them down on the D. So it's like 2 strums. And then the D section, you'll stay on the D chord. Sort of emphasize the lower strings, bum, down, up, down. Then go to brush the top strings. So the complete D section is. So now let's back it up. We'll connect the A minor 7th section to the D section. 1, 2, ready, go. Then the A minor 7th section will repeat. And then we have a 4-chord sequence here with this E minor chord shape. The fingers form a sort of a diagonal line, 7, 8, 9. E minor. And then the key to this transition to D is keep the same shape, just place the pinky down right next to the 3rd finger for the D chord shape. So E minor, D, then keep the same shape for C, just go down 2 frets, and then same shape back up to D. 2 notes on this 4-chord sequence. Number 1, the tab indicates to just play the top 3 strings, but if you're playing unaccompanied, I happen to like throwing in the open 4th string. So one suggestion, I think that sort of fills in a little bit of space there with a little bass, so I happen to like that. Either way, you'll be correct. Also, another thing is on the last strum. I prefer to do it twice. This section is played 4 times throughout the song, so he varies it up. I think on the ending, I think sometimes maybe it's just played once. Most of the time it's played twice. So let's review all of this. In fact, we're going to review all of section 4. What I mean by all of section 4 is those 4 measures we just covered repeat to complete section 4. So A minor 7th, D, A minor 7th, then the 4-chord sequence. Then we repeat it all. A minor 7th, D, A minor 7th, 4-chord sequence. Let's review it all from the top. We'll even include that G/B to lead in. So here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. In section 5, we switch from strumming chords to playing arpeggios, and it's also during section 5 where on the original recording you're going to hear additional guitars later into the mix, including electric guitars, but we're going to stick with the main acoustic guitar part, and it starts with a two-note lead-in riff on the bass note on the 5th string, 0, 2. Then the arpeggios begin with a C chord, and the pattern for the C chord will be this. If we do it by string numbers, 5, 4, 3, 4. And once you have that down, you count it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you go to G/B and play the same pattern. Then we go to A minor, and that's going to include a hammer on that 2nd string, 0 to 1, and then the 3rd string. And then you stay on the A minor chord and play a 4-note arpeggio on those middle 4 strings. So the A minor section sounds like this. Now what I tend to do, again, there are layered guitars played during this section of the song, so you have sort of a thicker sound with all those guitars. So when you're playing on a company, this is one suggestion. I actually kind of strum that hammer. Let me do that a little stronger here. And then, so the two things to keep in mind is you want a little overlap with the, you want that ringing or sustaining, so you have everything sort of overlap to make it a slightly bigger sound when you're playing on your own. But let's play this from the beginning, starting with the lead-in. We'll put together the C, G/B, and A minor sections, plus the lead-in. Here we go. Then we go into another lead-in into C again, and it's played the same. We'll still go to G/B, but then we're only going to do 3 strings. 3 count on that, and then we end with 2 strum chords, an F and an A minor. So let's back it up. We'll play all of line 1. Here we go from the top. 1, 2, ready, go. Now for line 2, we're going to repeat that sequence again. So essentially, line 2 repeats line 1, but if you look at the tab, there is an additional section, which is pretty much like starting the whole section over again. We're going to that last section. If you look at the tab on line 2, this is a lead-in to the next section of the song. So last thing we'll do now is we'll put everything together. We'll connect lines 1 and lines 2, and that'll complete section 5. 1, 2, ready, go. Into the next section. Now, one additional note on section 5. We mentioned earlier how in the middle section of the song, various guitars are layered or added into the mix, and that includes a 12-string electric guitar that is playing the same arpeggios that we just covered. It's played over the initial acoustic guitar part. So if you're practicing along with the original recording, you might find you don't sound like what you're hearing, but you are still playing it correct. That's because a 12-string has the additional strings that are tuned an octave higher. So this initial riff on a 12 string played the same way will sound something like this. So you're going to hear that on the original recording, but you won't get that sound unless you have a 12-string electric. Next step is to practice combining section 4 with section 5, as these two sections are played together 4 consecutive times, which takes up over 3 minutes of the song. And it's during this middle section where the drums enter and all the various guitar parts are added or layered into the mix. However, the essential chord sequence, section 4 and section 5 combined, is going to remain the same, except for the last time we play section 5. The last time we play section 5, it will lead into section 6 as opposed to section 4. And let's give it a comparison between the two. Here's how section 5 will lead into section 4 as we repeat the middle section. That's what's going to happen 3 times, but the 4th time we play section 5, to lead into section 6, we're going to end it differently. And here's how that's going to sound. Everything's the same here. We're going to end instead with a 1-strum D chord, a sustained D chord, and that is the lead-in to section 6.